Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dice Odyssey. I'm Kaz, and I am here today with the designer of a new game on Kickstarter called Hunt the Ravager.
Yeah.
Clinton Morris, and this is coming out by Kolossal, right?
That's correct.
Kolossal Games. And
it's on Kickstarter right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Go check that joker out. We'll put a link down in the description below, so definitely check it out here. But we're here to find out some more about it. I don't know a whole lot about it yet. He's kind of shown me some things, but he's going to go and kind of take me through just a quick round or two of this game. But first off, Clint, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Yeah, Clinton Morris. I was going to take this game and self-publish it a while back. Kolossal saw it through Travis Chance, and we signed it up with Kolossal, and now we are coming to Kickstarter after a decent amount of time. A little bit of a hiatus, but it's coming out, and we got art from Andrew Bosley, Everdale Tapestry.
Yeah, I got that on my shelf. Right back here.
Yeah.
Right back
so
here.
We got some good art from a well-known artist.
Yeah,
so,
looks good.
Yeah,
I like what I see. Yeah, but we'll do some overlays. You'll see it.
Sure. Yeah. So for me myself, I'm also with a company called Unfiltered Games, and we're going to be coming out with. I'm developing a game called Moonshell.
Moonshell.
Oh yeah, and that's through a very talented designer, Callie Wright, and she's coming out with her first board game in the board game world. She's got some other games that
Isn't
she's
that Michael's
designed.
wife?
Yes.
Michael Wright, the guy who runs Unfiltered Game. Yeah.
So this will be
That's
her
cool.
either third or fourth game coming to the board gaming world, but this is the first, I think, tabletop, full-on tabletop game.
Oh, so you're kind of in the mix here.
Yeah, I'm doing the development work for that, and we're sitting down with artists, and we've got a publisher and all that good stuff. So it's been a lot of fun, and I got some other design work that I'm doing, and behind the scenes stuff.
It's called NDA. We can't talk about it here.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Cool. So give me an idea. First off, what was the thought process in designing this game?
Yeah.
What was the origin of it? And give me an idea of the lore behind it.
Okay. So initially, the game was designed back in 2015, and it came out of necessity. I had another game called Regent, which was an abstract game, 4-player, 2 to 4 player game where if somebody killed somebody else, he became the winner.
That sounds such like a lighthearted
game was over.
thing.
Yeah, it was so good. But I, at the time, looked at the market, decided that abstract wasn't something that I could do maybe as my first game, and so I wanted to do something that was a little bit more cost effective. And so I went back down to cards and to chipboard tokens.
And standees.
Right, and standees, exactly. And so that's the kind of the direction that I had went with it. And wanted to do a hidden movement game.
Okay.
And really the initial brief for the hidden movement game that I gave myself was get a hidden movement game that plays in under an hour and a half.
Okay.
And
a lot of them. Yeah. I think Spectre Ops is close to that,
right,
but
exactly. Which some people have compared this to as well.
Oh,
so
I like Spectre Ops.
That has been something that exactly. So that was the initial brief, but then I went a little bit ahead and stepped further into this idea where I wanted a game where both people got to play both sides of the game. Yeah. And I had done some surveys and some polls and said, hey, what is the most fun aspect of a hidden movement game? And normally people said it was the one that was doing the hiding.
That's right, baby.
And so
sneaky.
Oh, yeah. So everybody wants to do that. And most people at the end of a night of playing a hidden movement game that lasted 3+ hours, they said, "Wow, I didn't get to have both experiences."
You mean for Dracula,
right?
Well, it can be up there. Yeah, it can be up there.
So you walked away saying, "Man, I didn't get to do both. I would really have liked to play it as the one that was doing the hiding and the sneaky stuff." And so I made a game where you could play both sides in the same.
That's an I don't remember hearing that somebody else has done that before.
Right.
Give me an idea of how to play. Yeah. What we're going to do is just kind of get a general brief overview of the rules.
Sure. And I'll give the lore as well.
Yeah, do that, and then we'll go ahead and kind of set up and play just a quick one. We're not going to do anything major.
Absolutely.
It's just a few rounds maybe.
Yep. Just so we give everybody a taste.
Yeah.
There is a couple videos on the Kickstarter if you would like to see a full playthrough. I know Quackalope did full 2-player game.
Oh, I love Quackalope.
So,
Woof. It's a thing between me
They
and
do
him.
get a few rules wrong.
Oh, you're going to call him out on my channel now? I get all the hate.
It's okay. They know we talked. But I'm just letting you know that if you go watch theirs, there's a few rules. But
so you actually have the guy who designed it.
Yeah.
So we're going to get the rules right. I won't. I'm going to screw it up. He's literally going to hold my hand through all of this.
That's good because, it's not overtly complicated. But there is some things that you have to consider as you play through it. The lore-wise goes like this. It's back in 200 AD. You have one of the first empresses of Japan. It's based loosely on historical data. I say loosely because it's got some fiction in it too. But this empress, she sent out a general to go collect the imperial regalia. And that is a sword, a mirror, and a jewel. These are given by the commies to signify...
We don't mean communists. We're talking about the actual gods.
K-A-M-I, commies. And this is the signification to rule the land, to be represented as the emperor. And so the empress had sent out her general to go collect these, and he went out and collected those and other treasures as well, brings them all back, and she gives him a very unsatisfactory reward, slays him.
That's right, baby.
Wipes out his village as well. And so in the afterlife, he makes a deal with a kami to be able to come back to wreak havoc as the Ravager upon the landscape.
So like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Get over here!
And then on top of it all, he's tasked with trying to return the treasures that she had used to inflict her reign. So
that's cool.
So that's the basics.
Another lighthearted game.
Oh yeah, absolutely lighthearted. The theme is buddies and flowers.
That's right,
and,
baby.
Yeah, but no. So the typical setup of a game, and this is what makes it a little bit more different than even like Fury of Dracula, Letters of Whitechapel, and the rest, is the fact that we have a modular board here. It is 35 cards that are shuffled up at the beginning of the game, and these are double-sided cards. They have a destroyed location on the back and a normal location on the front. These are all shuffled up. Their non-destroyed side is placed down in this 5x7 grid, and we have our nice little grid indicators along the sides, 1 through 5 and A through G. So that helps you track where you're moving, typical hidden movement style, if you're thinking of Letters of Whitechapel and whatnot. So this is to help the hider, if you will.
The hider.
After all of this has been set up, the Ravager player then chooses a lair. It is a place where he will go deliver treasure to during the course of the game. And the only rule that he has to follow, or rules, if you will, is that he cannot place the lair on a lake or on something that's already what is called war-torn. It's a location that's already destroyed, and he cannot place his lair there. But the rest of it is free game, and so what he will do is he'll choose the lair and then write it down. And so you'll take your pen, write down the layer. So let's say for fun, I'm here at D1. I would then write D1 down on my pad in this layer location, and then I've locked myself in. Then the samurai player will get the honor of placing treasure. So these are treasure tokens, and they will place them based on a treasure defense grid. This grid has points on it representing all the different locations upon the board, and then you get 5 points in which to place these treasures. And so a corner is worth 3, and then this next part of the grid is worth 2, and then all the way into 1s. So this little area here that you see is worth 1, and then very center of the game board is worth 0. And so you get to spend your 5, and now if you decide you want to be like, wait, I want to get all my points back, you could do something like that where you pay yourself 5 points back to yourself. The one thing, though, is that if you place your treasures in the middle of the board, this makes it much easier for the Ravager to be able to take a treasure, do a little loopy-loop, get over to their lair, and to drop it off, and then be able to score multiple scores. And so you, as a samurai player, you've got to kind of weigh in some things. Now,
Yeah, there's only 3 in the game, right? 3 treasures.
Right. Yep. And that represents the 3 different vendettas or 3 different rounds.
This guy's mad.
On any given round, I will choose a treasure, place it over here. I'll take what is called a footprint marker, a tracker marker, place it upon there. That represents where I start. I'll also write down that start location down here, and this is the only treasure that I'm trying to score for this entire 5-turn vendetta.
Gotcha.
So I get 5 turns in which to try to deliver this back to my lair, and during the course of that, I'm also trying to destroy locations and do other things and try to avoid you from killing me.
Okay.
Now, if I get it there, I get to score this. But if you catch me during that, all that happens is I give up the ability to score 4 points. You take all your characters back off. There's a little bit of a reset. You place them back out. We also take off all footprints from the earlier rounds. And then I would choose another treasure. And then I would try to score that. My layer doesn't change though. So the layer that I have remains the same. So some people like to go directly to their lair. It might not be the best strategy to do initially in the game because you want the other person not to know exactly where you're.
Exactly. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Yeah.
So you want to be able to do a little bit of a jaunt around
because I like to do some killing.
Right, and do some misdirections and whatnot.
Right.
So, but primarily after you do that, as the Ravager, I'm going to be moving from face of card to face of card,
right,
in an adjacent manner. So I can even move across lakes. Lakes are available to me. I cannot end my turn on a lake. If I ever walk onto a lake, I must mark it.
Yeah.
And then I must move to any adjacent location from the lake.
And that's neighboring? That's not
neighboring.
Just...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
all
neighboring.
Right.
For you as the samurai characters move across a junction point where 4 cards meet.
Okay.
And anytime that you move from one junction point to another junction point, and you get to influence the 4 cards that you're touching.
Ooh.
So, for instance, on your turn, so a typical turn of Hunt the Ravager is this: the Ravager moves.
Right.
If it's the first turn, the Ravager not only moves, but he picks his treasure, marks the spot, then moves.
Right.
Right. Then after that, the Samurai gets to take their turn, so I'll just keep this out there. Samurai will then move. So
Okay.
if this was this current situation that the Samurai were set up in, you would take all of your movement actions. So let's say you're like, okay, you moved from here, and I can move 1 to 2 spaces as the Ravager. So if I was here, I could actually be anywhere within this giant.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why putting your...
Because you can only move up to 2, right?
I can move up to 2,
okay.
but I could go diagonally. I can... Well, if I went here, I would have to mark on that I went on the water. But I could be all the way in this corner. I could move into a lot of spaces. That's why placing these treasures in the middle of the map, placing treasure in the middle of the map is risky to you because it gives me so much wide open space. So let's say for fun, you want to take your actions. And so after Ravager moves, Samurai then moves all theirs, and then you would take actions. Each of these standees are numbered 1 through 3.
Right.
So let's say for fun, you want to take an action here with number 2. Number 2 says he wants to do what is called an investigation.
Okay.
An investigation, all that looks like is you will ask about any of the locations around you if I have been there. Now, you cannot get more information about a place that already has a tracker token. But let's say for fun, you want to say, have you ever been to D2?
Right.
And if I have, I'll consult. If I have been there, this vendetta, I then must mark it.
Oh, so it goes by vendetta.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. Okay, so considering each treasure is a vendetta,
yes,
you're literally resetting for...
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Which is good for you because you'll get current ongoing information.
Gotcha.
You won't get your information mixed up from the turns before. So if I had been to D2, I would then mark it. You would know that I've went that way.
Right.
And then you also no longer can use number 2 for this particular turn. Then there's another way to use your characters. That is asking a village. So there are 5 locations on the map, and obviously these were randomly distributed. You have 1 village, 2 village, 3 village, 4 village, and 5 village. So they were randomly
Oh, yeah.
You did.
Yeah, they were.
And that's what makes the game kind of cool,
and you got
too.
a couple of them real close to each other.
Yep.
So.
And this part of what makes the game really cool is the fact that there's this random distribution.
Yeah.
And you and I will actually be influenced by that random distribution on the way that we play the game. So on the course of multiple games, you're never getting this stale board. It's always different.
Yes,
so
variability.
What a village will do for you is actually light up the entire 9 square chunk.
Spotlight.
Yeah. And there's one rule is that it will not reveal any of these already destroyed locations. So that's where the Ravager sometimes will duck into. But if you lost your footprints into an area like that, it's kind of this back and forth. You kind of know that they've went that way. So a village will do that, and then I would check my map and say, okay, have I been to 2 through 3, A, B, and C? I've looked in all those little areas. And then for every place that I have been, I would mark that is true.
Yeah.
Once again, reminding that we don't remark ones that already have a mark.
Right.
So that's asking a village or asking the village elders. The other one that you could do is ask a shrine. So we'll have number 3, ask this shrine. Once again, 5 locations on the map that represent these shrines. And the shrines allow you to ask about anywhere, no matter where it is.
I like that part.
And so number 3 could even ask about war-torn areas as
Which
well.
normally you can't do otherwise.
Which normally you cannot investigate in any other way. So you could say here. Now remember, for the samurai player, the goal for you is that you're not trying to just find out where I am. So
That's sad.
Your goal is to
I want to kill you.
Kill me. Exactly.
I want to stab. I want to stabby.
Hunt the Ravager. Right.
I get to do some stab action.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet.
So
as long as I get to do
once
that.
you are confident where I am, you will do an action that is called Hunt the Ravager. And so you'll move your character from the grid to a location.
Yeah.
As long as they have an action point left to spend for that character. And so then what you're signifying...
I'll do it anyway.
Then I wouldn't tell you anything. So if you moved here and I was there, I then reveal that I'm there. I have to give up the treasure that I was trying to score. So you make it so I can't continue this vendetta.
Kill it.
This turn tracker resets. If there's any more treasures out there, I get to try to score those treasures. All of those footprints come off. Now, but what normally happens is when you go and hunt the Ravager, you get told that I'm not there.
You know what's really funny?
Yeah.
You're telling me all this now about Hunt the Ravager. When I first heard about this game, I thought his name was Hunt.
Oh, no.
And he's a Ravager. You know what I mean? I kept thinking that the whole time.
There's an action in the game that's called...
I really, because I didn't know much about this game until he started talking to me about it tonight. So, all right.
Another action is, so once you're on a hunt, there is some downside to being on a hunt. So normally the typical move, it's Ravager moves, then Samurai move. If you're on a hunt, you can't move. On your next action step, you're allowed to do one of 2 things with a samurai, if you will, that's on a hunt. You can either continue hunting. If you continue hunting, you say, "Are you there?" And I must check because I can come back there. The other thing that you can do is you can move or return from the hunt. So that would be
so you have to go back to one of those 4 spots.
Yeah, and then the next turn you can then move. That would be your action.
Gotcha.
So that's the downside to hunting. But it's...
If I find you, I kill you.
Yeah.
So that's a good side.
And then the last action that these samurai can do is if you know that you're out of position. For instance, you've searched over here, you use this one, and this one doesn't have any information or can't do anything. You could do something called march, which is allowing you to take 1 additional movement. So they can move up to 2 spaces, but as an action, you can then move 1 more space. Right. That's your action. So those are the 7 actions, if you will, that samurai characters get to do on there.
Well, I'm excited to kill you.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead and what I want to do is get at least maybe a couple of rounds in. And at the same time, you are going to have to hold my hand.
Yeah.
Not here. You know, my wife's in the next room. But you're going to have to hold my hand through this because I am what I call stupid learner. Sure. I'm going to ask stupid questions.
Oh, that's good.
And because also... the audience, there's going to be people like me out there that don't know and they want to know, you know. So if I ask stupid questions, that's normal for me.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started.
All right, so we're going to pretend that we just shuffled everything up.
That's right.
And placed it all out, and this is the board that we ended up with. So now what I get to do is I get to choose a layer. So I'm going to look across and see... Now, there's reasons why I wouldn't want to choose over here necessarily because there's so many villages and other things.
Oh, come on.
It could be kind of dangerous for me to put a lair over there. But that's
I've only got 2 rounds to kill you, man.
That's also the mind game where I may put my lair in the middle of something that looks dangerous.
I hope so.
And some people put the lairs directly in these villages here or on shrines. So that happens. But
it's like the most obvious place. So maybe
there's that reverse psychology.
That reverse psychology thing.
Like I said, so the position of your lair is important, and I know where I have it. I have chosen a lair, and I am good to go. So I've written that down.
So the one right in front of me, right?
All right, I've chosen. I'm just kidding. I've chosen a new layer. But all right. So now what you would do is then you would take your treasures, and we'll do 2 treasures for this.
And I just set them out,
and you'll get 5 points. We'll give you the same 5 points. You get 5 points to place 3 treasures. And whatever points are left over is what you would add.
And which side? Just the
you would place
shield side?
The shield side. Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, so I get to place these out anywhere, right?
Once again, the only rule that you have to follow is can't be in a lake, can't be in a war torn. So you can't throw it in there. Yeah, I can't go there.
I know, I'm just messing with you. Alright, so can't be in a lake, can't be there. Alright, so what I will do is put one there.
Okay. So for 2 points.
For 2 points.
Yep.
And I will put one over here.
For 3. Okay, so you've spent all your points.
Now, what is the point, literally, of spending all your points?
Well, spending all your points means you have a stronger defensive situation.
Okay.
But if you had saved any points, for instance, if you had placed a treasure here and you had 1 point left over, that point carries with you to the very end of the game.
So so this isn't just catching you. This is also. Wait a minute. So if I kill you, it doesn't. It matters.
You don't get any points.
It matters
except
not.
for you denied me the ability to get 4 points.
Oh, okay.
And also throughout the time that I'm moving, turn number 1, I choose a treasure. I put a track down. I move up to 2 spaces.
Gotcha.
Turns 2, 3, 4, and 5. At the beginning of my turn, I decide how I'm going to. Move as far as how I'm going to pay for my
all right, so
now you will place your people on, and you're going to.
Does it matter? Does it matter where? Or...
Right. So if you don't place anybody over there, and I take that treasure, and I begin to try to.
Oh, so I'm trying to place them kind of defensively. I got you. I got you. All right. Like I said, stupid question.
Oh no, that's a great question. Why would you want to do that? So you want to do that? That looks good. Maybe you want to place him closer to the middle.
Yeah, just to give a kind of a roadmap, kind of protect areas. Okay.
Exactly. And so the very first thing that you do at the beginning of a vendetta, so you've placed all your people, you're good, you're happy, you're content.
I'm not happy or content, but I'm kind of like, let me see what I can do.
You're happy, you're content. So the first thing I have to do is I must choose a treasure. So I'm going to choose this one for fun. And this one's actually the harder of the 2 because, like we said before, I could only move in this area. This is my first. So I'm going to choose this. So what I will do is I'll write A5 down in my start of round area.
Okay.
So I've written that down. Awesome. I also then take a tracker marker, which represents footprints, and I place that right on the location. And then the other thing that I do is I must move at least 1, but up to 2 spaces.
Oh, okay.
So I will move from this location outward, and I can also allow it to double back and go back, so I could actually come back to here.
Okay.
That's a good strategy sometimes, but now that I told you, I'm probably not going to do it.
Or you could be double bluffing me,
Right,
it's possible.
So you got some villages down here, so I'm just this much nervous. And I moved 1 or 2 spaces. Now what you could do, so the turn goes Ravager moves. Now you as a samurai, you move. Now you get to move each of your characters 0 to 2 spaces. So they can stay where they are if you're confident. But you do know I'm down here in this area. One of the things that you want to do is get a place for each of your people to be effective or to be help. For instance, maybe moving that samurai down to this shrine would make it so that it can use the shrine.
At least in one of the areas around it. Would now what constitutes 2 moves? Would it or 1 move would be like this?
Nope, that's a diagonal, and it must move from 1 orthogonal vertice.
Oh, so it would have to be like this and then that? So that would be my 2.
2 for him.
Gotcha.
So number 3.
And so if I wanted to do this, I could go like this.
Yep.
and try to block off a little bit, possibly.
What you could also do is if you're confident that I've moved to the full extent, or you can even come in here.
Come in there, kind of give you a little bit more. Okay.
Give you a little bit more.
Yeah, I like
and then
that.
if you like where 2 is, you could keep 2 where it's at.
Yeah.
If you don't like where 2 is, maybe move it out here. But then if I did double back...
Nope, 2 staying where he is.
Cool. So now that you're done moving,
okay.
Now you get to take your actions. Now, once again, a refresher on what the actions look like. One of the actions is you can just straight up ask about anyone that's around your figure. So number 3 could ask about anything that's around it and flip it over. Weakest of the asking actions is called investigate. Another action that it can do is consult the village elders.
Right.
Right. And so what you would then do is you would flip that over, consult the village elders.
And the village opens up what again?
It
opens up the whole area with neighboring.
The whole 9 chunk.
Now, is it basically saying, have you been here?
Have you? Yeah. So
I gotcha. Okay.
That's the only questions you're really ever asking.
Okay.
Is have you been there? The only time that you're not asking that question is when you do what is called Hunt the Ravager.
Gotcha.
And then you're saying, are you there?
Sweet.
So.
All right, well, I'd like to ask that village.
Oh, you would? Okay.
With a number 3, so I flip that token.
Yep, so then flip that token.
All right, so I'm flipping the 3 tokens
And then
in case you can't see that on camera.
what I must now do is tell you about this area. The only one I do not have to tell you about, and it's not that I can even move there because it's outside of me mathematically.
Yeah.
I do not have to tell you about war-torn areas.
Right. It's only the
the village.
shrines,
The village.
right?
Well, only the shrine will do that, and then also you're allowed to hunt here.
Okay.
So if you hunt there, I must tell you if I'm there or not.
Right. Okay.
So now I must look.
Where have you been in that area?
So you've asked here.
Yeah.
And I have been right here.
Okay.
So I got some footprints there.
All right.
I do know about that. So
Okay. So you have been.
I have been to here.
Gotcha.
Now, am I currently there? I don't know.
Right. I got you.
I could be here.
But I could use this guy to hunt.
Right.
If I chose.
I could be here. I could be here, or here.
Okay.
Because
mathematically,
right,
you could
this
do.
village can't see. So now what you could also do is you could use a shrine to ask about...
Before I use that first guy.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
to
Okay.
ask about something.
I want to do that just to show what happens.
Yeah.
So I'm asking...
You won't go on to the location.
Oh, that's right. That's only for if you're hunting. Number
Seems like
2.
you want to hunt.
Okay. I want to hunt there. You there?
And I am there.
Yeah.
So,
it was between this or this for me.
Right. Well, which is good. And this is kind of what I was hoping to kind of help set this up so that people could see what you get for information and how that all works. And so now what would happen is we didn't even make it through a whole turn, which is fine.
Right.
This does happen sometimes. And this is a very hard treasure to score from.
Right. Well, the whole purpose of this part was to show people kind of the idea of how it plays.
And so now we're set up for Vendetta 2.
Right.
So Vendetta 2 is, I only have that as a choice, so I'm going to take G2.
Okay.
So G2, I'll write that down. I'll put a track marker up there.
Not GQ, G2.
Yep.
Got
there
it.
we go. And then we'll take that off.
All right.
So that's one that I'm going to try to score this round. And now I must move 1 to 2 spaces from there.
So you're choosing your location.
I'm choosing what I'm going to do.
Or what you're going to do. Right,
yeah, we already chose G2 because you've already predetermined that that's where I have to go. I have moved. So now you must move if you want your samurai, or if you're happy with what you already have, you can keep them there, and that would be your movement.
Okay. What I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and move this samurai here.
All right.
Oops. And I'm also going to move this samurai here.
Okay.
All right. And now, the double bluff stuff.
Yep.
All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and do actions, correct?
Correct, yep.
All right, so I can ask villages and all that stuff if I want.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm using 1 to ask this village where if you've been in that area.
Sure, yeah. And you do get a track, and you get a track directly on the village.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
All right. Again, I'll ask a shrine if you have been in this war-torn location.
I have not.
Okay. And then the last thing.
He does have access to a shrine.
Yeah, I know. I got it. Number 2.
All right.
This one.
All right.
That was my first choice.
And I have been there.
Okay.
So you do know that I am there.
Right.
And then the question comes is, did I score?
Right.
And if I was in my lair, I would then have to say, yes, I scored. But this couldn't have been my lair because it is already war-torn.
Right.
So I'm going to say no. Then what happens is we move down to turn 2.
Right.
And then we get to do something that I wasn't able to do before because you killed me turn 1. So now the Ravager must decide, do I use a rage token? These are worth victory points at the end of the game. If I don't use them, I get 5 of them. Or I can destroy any location that either I'm on or adjacent
to, yeah.
I get to wipe it out. And I'm going to do that. So see this village here that you liked so much?
I loved it.
It's not going to exist anymore. So I've lit that village up on fire.
You are Scorpion.
Yeah, and so now this village doesn't exist anymore, and it will also get...
Think of the children, man.
I warned them. They shouldn't have been there.
Oh, you jerk.
So now I get a victory point at the end of the game for that. And now I must move 1 to 2 spaces from where I currently am. So, which we do know mathematically that I'm here.
Right.
So I will move 1 to 2 spaces from that area.
Okay.
Now, my goal is to make it to my lair. But my alternative goal is I can let it go for a few turns, destroying the countryside, getting victory points. So it's a good strategy.
Yeah,
So,
it can be.
yeah, and it really frustrates the people that like their locations. So, all right, I have moved,
Okay.
and now it is your turn. So now your turn. You move all of your samurai.
It's like I have to avenge the people you just slaughtered. You monster.
I am a monster.
You are a Hunt the Ravager. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and, I have to flip my tokens.
absolutely.
Okay. Flip tokens. Now I'm going to start moving.
Yep, move them all.
Let's see.
Up to 2 spaces.
Keep him there.
Okay.
You were here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm keeping him there. I am moving this one. Right here.
Okay.
Oops, sorry. And then I'm going to go ahead and move this one right here.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
Now, my actions.
Yes.
This is my number 3. I'm flipping the 3 token. I'm asking the village, have you been around? Where have you been?
Let's see. The villager says there's no new information.
Okay.
That all that means is that I haven't been on these spaces.
Gotcha.
So he already knows about these spaces. This one's a war-torn area.
No new information.
And so no new information outside of the information you already know. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
All right.
They're afraid to give you information.
I'm sure.
Because if they do, I'm going to blow their village.
That's exactly what you're going to do. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see. I'm going to use this shrine.
Okay.
With my number 2.
Yep.
Flip that token, and I'm going to ask, "Are you here?
Well,
Or have you been here?"
you do know that I have been there.
Oh. So wait.
Right. So-
That's right. I have to hunt.
Yep. No
Never mind.
problem.
I have to hunt.
So,
Never mind. Forget I asked.
When there's
that.
tracks in a
Yeah.
place, you don't get any new
That's right.
information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I
Except
said,
for if you hunt.
Here come the stupid
No,
questions.
that's perfectly
let's
okay.
see. Okay, so forget that one for a second then.
So
I'm going to ask them. I'm going to use a shrine instead to ask.
And you can use the shrine to ask about other shrines too.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. To any location on the map. Somebody asked that question one time as like, can you use it to ask a shrine?
Well, why not? How about this one?
You can ask that shrine. F1? No, I have not been there.
Okay. Let's see. Huh. So now I'm kind of screwed.
Are you?
Well, let's see. I got to ask this shrine.
Yep.
Because I've got one left.
Yes.
And I could say, okay, are you or have you been here?
D1? I have not been to D1.
Okay.
All right.
So that's...
So you have used all your actions.
Right.
Now I must announce whether I've scored or not.
Okay.
I have not scored.
Okay.
So then what happens is this goes down to turn 3. And now it goes back to the Ravager if he wants to move. Now, I could use a rage token that are worth victory points
Right.
and give it to you. And then I get to take 2 movement and I don't give you much information
Oh,
to
you
go off.
jerk.
Or
Stealth.
because I'm confident in myself, I can blow up a location. Now remember, the location that I blow up must either be the one that I'm on or neighboring it. And so I'm going to eat a shrine.
Oh, you.
So I'm either there or adjacent
You
to
killed those poor priests.
They were your priests.
Oh, you jerk. No, you're the kind of guy that would slaughter your own just to get away. Don't
So
even
now
play.
I must move.
All right.
I have moved.
All right.
So you do know that I was around here.
Yeah.
So I was either in these 3 areas.
Gotcha. So, but you have moved.
I've moved
All right.
now from there.
So here, and then here.
Okay.
All right. And then here.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, well, why not? You can see it better.
Yeah.
So I am going to go ahead
Dun dun dun.
and use my number 2 to ask this village if you've been anywhere around.
Okay. Well, they will tell you
Dang right.
that C2. They have seen footprints at C2.
Oh, is that right?
That's it.
You sure they're not just crying wolf like the little boy?
No.
Okay.
No,
you scared them a little bit.
They-
They're misdirecting me. They've
No,
seen
that-
all
I
the.
can't-
They've
I
seen
can't-
you ravaging.
I can't misdirect.
They've seen you ravaging, old Hunt. All right, so that was my number 2,
Yes.
correct? Okay. So now, let's see. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, this is tough. I'm actually, because I'm in a spot that's a little weird. Is there any specialty areas with the mountains?
No, you just you could only investigate or you can hunt.
I'll hunt.
You're
Screw
hunting?
It. Screw
Oh,
it.
man.
I'm
Oh, man.
Right here.
Okay.
Anything?
No.
Oh,
I
you suck.
I'm not there.
When I get on the water, what does it let me do again?
So you can't go in the
Right
water.
here?
Yeah, you can't.
Oh,
go
you
in the-
can't. Okay.
Because I can't actually end my turn on the water.
Gotcha.
So if I ever cross the water, I must announce it by marking that I've crossed the water.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to hunt again with 3.
Uh-oh.
Here.
No, I'm
No.
not there.
Dadgum. I'm horrible at this game.
You're good.
I'm hopefully knocking you down a little bit, like with where you might be. I'm cornering you. I hope.
Now you ask the question, did you score? And I say
Did
no.
you score?
No.
No. Oh, sad.
So,
All right.
beginning of turn 4.
So turn 5 is the final turn.
Turn 5 is the final turn.
Okay.
At the end of turn 5, if I haven't scored, I die.
Oh, you're close.
I am going to eat this village.
Because you're near it.
Yes.
Oh, I hate you.
Or on it. So I'm going to eat that village.
You ate it?
Yum.
You cannibal.
Yep.
Well, you're like a cannibal spirit.
Yep.
You sick freak. It was this one, correct?
Yeah, I ate F3. It was tasty.
You ate those kids, man. You and eating kids. I don't understand it. Didn't do anything to you.
You should have wiped out my village and killed my wife.
Hey, I didn't do it. It was the
else.
queen, man. She's a test pilot for a broom factory. All right, so are you?
All right. I have moved.
All right, so my go again, huh?
Yes.
Last turn.
Yeah. So they 1 and 3 are stuck
Yeah, I
for
figured
movement.
I
2
figured
can
that.
move, but the other 2 are stuck.
So I'm kind of stuck at this
That's
point.
one of the dangers of hunting without having enough information.
Yeah, you're right, but I'm just testing
No,
the
yeah,
waters.
absolutely.
First game.
So
All right, so what do they do though this turn?
all they can do, the actions that they can do is one of 2.
Okay.
They can either stay there and hunt again, or they can move off onto an empty junction
Area.
point.
Gotcha.
And
Well,
that'd
we'll
be
do
their-
that.
So that's going to be that action.
And I mean, there's not much else I can do at this point.
Or retain
And-
hunting. But yeah, if you feel like I've gone onto this side of the map. Yeah.
All right, shrine.
All right. What's your
Well, this is my final turn. So
maybe
well, it will be. And are we on 4th or 5th?
We're on number 4.
Oh, we're on 4. Oh, okay.
But it could be if I
Okay.
score,
All right.
and I might be set up to score.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and ask the shrine.
Where is the shrine going to ask about?
Have you been here?
F4.
Yes.
I have not been to F4.
I'm dying here.
So
He's blowing up every opportunity here to
So
kill
you've
him.
taken all of your actions.
I can't do any.
And I have scored. I have
Scorpion.
Yeah, can't do any stabby.
So normally when you deliver, you would do a typical reset where all the samurai would come off, the
Okay.
footprints would come off.
Cool.
If there was another treasure on the board, we'd go for that. And then, but I will show you where my lair was. My lair was F3.
I almost said that.
Yeah.
Were you there at the end?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I almost
But
said that. I was
even
just
if-
like, he
but-
might be screwing
But
with
even
me.
if you said it, all I would tell you is that I've been
you've
there.
been there, yeah.
To kill me, you actually.
I would have had to have gone over there.
Hunt it. Yep.
So I really hamstrung myself by hunting with 2 quick, not enough info.
Yeah. And that's okay. I mean, it gives you information. Normally, a typical game is played over 3 vendettas.
Right.
So, like, you killed me really quickly, Vendetta 1. And then Vendetta 2, I was able to string it out, get some more victory points. So what I would have scored is 4, 5, 6, 7.
Right.
And then also I kept all my rage. So that's another 5. So I had 12 points.
Angry person, you. Yep. I got killed. I got killed really badly in this last one. I know. I got to do a little stabby action. The first
we
one.
Reset that.
He let me, though.
I have played this game 150 times on two players.
First time.
Yeah. So then what you do is you give the other player a blank movement sheet.
Right.
And also the blind, along with all of the tracker tokens, the 5 rage, and they get that. Then I allow them to choose a layer, so you would choose a new layer. So I had F3. He doesn't have to keep F3. He chooses his own layer that he's going to score his treasure by. And then after he chooses it, I replace my treasure out there using that grid again. I place my samurai. And then what I'm trying to do is make it so he doesn't score more than 12 points. Because I had 12 points. I'm trying to keep him underneath.
I do not feel so bad losing because I whooped you in blood rage and I don't even want to hear it, man.
So this is Hunt the Ravager.
Yeah. I like it, man. I mean, just from the initial setup, I like hidden movement games in general. I like the idea of this. I like the idea of the modular board and everything. Initial impressions obviously are just initial impressions, but I like it. So go check this out on Kickstarter. This has, how many days has it got? 14, 15
so
days?
It's got 13 days left. Started on Thursday. It's going to go through for 14 days.
I don't know. What's the lower price tier?
It is $25, and then if you want a play mat, you get $45.
Oh, okay.
So, and it has a really fancy play mat.
So a play mat with like a grid, basically?
Well, right. It's got these already pre-printed on it.
Oh, that's nice.
And then it's got...
That's cool. I like that idea.
So everything's ready to go.
And does it space out everything pretty well for the standees? Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, definitely go check this out. It's going to be up for at least another week and a half or so. Almost 2 weeks. And like I said, you just decide for yourself. All you had to do is watch a little bit of this, and you get the idea of whether or not you think you might want to go into it. But I definitely liked it. I liked what I played of it, and I like the artwork. It's definitely eye-catchy, and I like I just like hidden movement in general, so it kind of appeals to me anyway.
Yeah.
So, anyway, check that out. Thank you so much for watching the Dice Odyssey. We hope you enjoyed it. This is Clinton Morris, amazing world-famous designer, and I beat him in Blood Rage. I feel great about that. I'm kidding. I'm messing with you, man, but I do. Anyway, thank you again. You have a blessed day, and game away. This video is brought to you by Fallen Dominion Studios. Check out their website at fallendominionstudios.com.